When it comes to these subjects, there's no shortage to be found. There will always be a lot of my fellow YouTubers who try to pull one over on people, basing their channels on trying to fool people into doing or believing the plot of their pranks are really happening. While I personally don't find much enjoyment in prank channels, especially since I believe they've gone too far, I can certainly understand the appeal of such things. And then there's those people who take the same concept to the extreme and try and steal a livelihood, an identity, or a lot of money, or all three, promising wild things in return as they slip away. So why are they done? What is it that makes people want to do this? Why do so many fall for it? What is the ultimate result? Personally, I'm not sure myself. Since most pranks are pretty well known and nobody is supposed to get hurt, this doesn't fall under deduce. Still, the con artist does inherently break the law, and these days there's a chance you won't even see the ones behind it. So grab your lucky charm, sit back, relax, and let's get started. There's a certain kind of thrill when it comes to pranking people. Sure, their antics are supposed to be all in good fun, but still something about fooling people into believing something that is, in fact, a setup is instead real. Perhaps the explanation might be found in the only prankers who can actually make a decent living at it, those are magicians and illusionists. Sure, it's a given that when we see an illusionist saw a woman in half, we're not really seeing a woman being cut apart and then reassembled. Usually in a few minutes we see something that seems impossible, but understanding what to look for may lead to something innocuous and make it all entirely plausible. And perhaps it explains why writers write, but I don't often feel the same way I did when I used to play pranks as I do when I tell my stories. When I tell my stories, all in the links below, I know they're not real, and I trust that those that read them know I'm not trying to make them believe in a mystical meta-weapon like my fire sword actually exists. But why do you laugh at those YouTube videos that make one side or the other look like fools? Why do they make such an impact on us? What is the line when it goes too far? I do count such experiments as pranks as it's trying to fool someone into thinking there's something going on that isn't. And there are some that do go too far. Still, when they do happen, the person who is punked, and don't be surprised I recognize the old label, usually gets mad, sometimes stay mad for a long time until they can take it all in good humor. And they wait until they can get a little bit of revenge. And then we get into this little bit of fun. There's a reason I placed this lot in with the prankers. But it's mainly because they're both in the same racket. They both try and get you to believe something that's not real. But con artists take it to the extreme. We get warned about them early on. One classic story, fairy tale, is about a ruler of a certain city that is fooled into believing this magnificent robe is supposed to only be visible to those who are truly wise. Of course, he pretends he can see it, as do most of the other royal assembly, although in fact there's nothing there. This little classic is called The Emperor's New Clothes, and it was stated with a certain character in a certain series, chimed in with, "That's more than I wanted to see in any politician." Many classic cons are based on the idea of selling some service or treasure to their targets before they realize they're completely worthless. Sometimes it's getting their target to give them a lot of money in return for something that's not going to come. A classic Simpsons episode is based on the whole idea of Homer and Bart making a great deal of money pulling off cons. And there are those shows where con artists are major players, yet without even realizing it, we see them all the time. When we're shown a page or a site online where we have to click on it before we're sent to a place that can download a Trojan or more before you even realize it, we also see in our emails those that believe they can steal our financial information and rob us blind. We get warning emails from places we don't have any connection to, and we see emails that tell us we'll get fabulous wealth for just a small fee. But they keep coming. The whole concept seems so well worn, it's a surprise that they keep it going, but they keep sending all those blasted emails out. And then there's most well-hidden con artists, and I'm not talking politicians since you know I don't do that. I'm talking about collection and debt forgiveness agencies. The thing is, the email scams are easy to spot. The essential ones to spot are those that claim an account you have at a certain bank is under some kind of restriction. The reason they're easiest is because most of the times they're banks you don't have any accounts with. For those that claim to be from your bank, don't click on the link, go to the bank's homepage and sign in from there. Also, if they don't have your name on it, it's likely a fake. Then there's those that seem unnecessarily long. Any actual email from a legit agency won't make you scroll further and further to see what they're getting at. Another tell is finding grammatical errors and misspellings. Any professional would ensure that the email is concise and that the grammar and spelling are 100% legit. Of course, most online pharmacy emails can be thrown out. Another tell can be spotted pretty easy. If the email claims to be from a certain organization and that organization is not in the sent from email, you can discount it pretty much all the time. It's even a little amusing to find their so-called professional emails sent from Hotmail, Outlook, Yahoo, Gmail, or any number of universities from around the world. I have even had some emails claiming to be legitimately trying to recruit me for things, even though I have never signed up for anything they offer. I even had ones in other languages claiming that they chose me for some reason. But now get into something very interesting. The cons we're mostly familiar with are the ones that keep trying to get to us. The fact is that collection agencies, though they say they want to offer debt forgiveness, are little more than con artists themselves. They make themselves sound so big and so important, but the fact is that many debt collectors know very well the limit they're allowed to go to collect on the debts. For example, were you aware that the law states you can order them to stop contacting you within the first 30 days? They also have to send you something in the mail within 4 days of the first harassing phone call. They may claim they have legal powers to fix your credit once this debt is paid off, or they can throw you in jail and take you to court if you don't. And as you can probably guess, they really can't do any of that. They can't call you at work or call any relatives, and they can't publicly humiliate you. But they are con artists because oftentimes, very routinely, they break these laws. And here's some more fun. When they get these debts, sometimes they offer a settlement, make it sound like it's a big deal, but here's the fact none of them want you to know. Collection agencies aren't assigned based on anything other than how much of the debt they can purchase. It's a practice in accounting to list a debt as bad or unpaid after a certain amount of time for almost every debt, usually up to a year. So the collection agency offers a small fraction of the whole debt, knowing that the companies are basically happy with even a fraction, and they get the chance to go after the person who has the debt to get it at full price, or even more if they so choose. Usually the settlements they offer are still giving them enough of a profit that it's not really that big a deal. There's one more thing no debt collector ever wants to hear. The thing about purchasing these debts is that they can't stop you from paying the debt to the original creditor. They can say you have to pay them, but the truth is far from that. I'm sure you've all seen those debt forgiveness ads, producing the idea that your student debt or any other kind of debt can be paid in full and forgiven, but only if you agree to pay them. Here's the thing though, they can make it sound like it's a sweet deal, and it is, but it's really nothing more than changing the face of debt collection. What is it that makes pranksters and con artists do what they do? Why do they want to make us look like idiots and fools? What's the purpose? For pranksters, it's simply a matter of humor. You're not always humor in the best taste. It might be someone doing something a little idiotic to make a random person fall for it. It might be a friend trying to show that they're more gullible, but in the end, if the person who's pranked isn't harmed, or if they can't take it in good taste, it's all okay. But there's something more with con artists. What does it mean when someone who is in the con can get away with it? Is it something a little bit more? Well, yes. While pranksters can play on gullibility, con artists use it for their purposes that aren't exactly legit. What they want is to get their hands on easy money, not much more. Sure, they can lie, they can act, and they can manipulate that they don't really like the idea of an honest living. Sure, debt collection and forgiveness might seem to pay well, and it might be something that they convince themselves is their right, but ultimately, all any con artist can claim is that they're a little lazy. They don't want to find a legit form of employment, so they manage to have more hands in other people's pockets. So does that mean we'll eventually be free of con artists? There's about as much a chance of that as getting rid of the pranksters. There will always be those who will twist the truth, who will play on someone's perceived weakness, and who will try to steal something, convincing themselves they're legit for the whole reason that they can say so,
so that's it.
They have no authority.
I'm not sure if this video will go over really well. I'd imagine there'll be some that are pretty upset by what I've revealed here, but it has to be told. It could list a number of famous cons, ones that you probably heard of, but that is for you to find out for yourself. So as usual, give the video a big thumbs up. Let me know what you think of the designs in the comments below, way down there. Subscribe up here, and here's my social media. Check out the links in the description below, especially the GoFundMe campaign. And check out the videos I've had here and here. And we'll see you all next time.